Do you feel that tiredness that doesn't go away even after sleeping 8 hours? That swelling in your ankles that appears without explanation? Millions of people wake up every morning feeling this way, thinking it's normal, that it's just age. And that's not the worst part. The worst part is that while you ignore these signals, there's a silent poison destroying two of your body's most important organs without you realizing it. A recent study revealed that 90% of people with kidney damage don't know it until it's too late. Most believe kidneys only get damaged from serious or genetic diseases. Even many general practitioners underestimate the everyday poisons that attack them. But that's far from the truth. I'm Dr. Cezar Villarreal, and after more than 15 years treating patients with kidney disease, I've discovered that most of the cases I see in my practice could have been prevented. Today, I'm going to tell you what nobody has clearly explained to you about how to protect your kidneys. I'm going to reveal 4 silent poisons that are destroying your kidneys while you read this. But more importantly, I'm going to give you practical and simple solutions to protect yourself starting today. This is what the food industry and many health professionals don't tell you. And pay special attention to number 1, it's something you probably consumed this very morning, something you associate with happy moments and celebrations, and it is without a doubt the most addictive and devastating of all. Stay until the end. Your kidneys will thank you. For you to understand the power of what I'm about to reveal, you first need to know your kidneys. These 2 fist-sized organs work like the most sophisticated purification plant on the planet. They filter all your blood more than 30 times a day. They eliminate toxins, regulate fluids, control your blood pressure. They work 24 hours, 7 days a week, without rest, without complaining. They process around 180 liters of blood each day to produce barely 2 liters of urine. Imagine a coffee maker's filter. Its function is to let clean water pass through and retain waste. Now imagine that you pour burned oil, sand, and corrosive chemicals into that filter every day. What would happen exactly? It would clog, get damaged, stop working. Well, that's precisely what certain everyday poisons do to the millions of microscopic filters in your kidneys. And here's the problem. With each passing decade, your kidneys' filtering capacity naturally decreases. What you filtered effortlessly at 30 requires double the work at 60. It's the law of life. But this means something critical. Your margin of error dramatically reduces. What you used to tolerate without consequences can now be the blow that triggers irreversible damage. And do you know what the 2 main causes of kidney failure worldwide are? Diabetes and hypertension. Anything that causes or worsens them is a direct attack on your kidneys. And today we're going to put names and surnames to those attackers. But before continuing, I need to ask you something. If you believe this information can help someone you know, a father, a mother, a sibling, subscribe now and comment the word kidneys below. That way I'll know this information is reaching those who need it. Your comment can change a life. I've prepared a list of 4 deadly poisons for your kidneys. I ordered them from least to most dangerous. Why? Because I want you to reach the end knowing that the worst is yet to come, that you don't miss the real culprit. Let's start with number 4. Poison number 4, stagnant water. This first enemy will surprise you because it's not something you eat or drink. It's something you don't do. I'm talking about sedentary lifestyle, lack of movement, spending hours and hours sitting in front of a screen or watching television. But doctor, what does sitting have to do with my kidneys? Everything. Absolutely everything. And now I'll explain why nobody has told you before. Because the connection isn't obvious. There's no pill to sell for sedentary lifestyle. There's no industry that benefits from warning you about this. Your kidneys depend on a powerful and constant blood flow to filter correctly. Imagine a flowing river. When water flows with force, it stays clean and oxygenated. But when water stagnates, it fills with mud, rots, becomes toxic. When you move, when you walk, your heart pumps vigorously and blood circulates forcefully to your kidneys. But when you spend hours sitting, everything slows down. The flow becomes sluggish, and your kidneys suffer the consequences. What happens in your body when you don't move? First, your metabolism becomes slow, and your body doesn't use blood sugar well. This leads to insulin resistance, which ends up causing type 2 diabetes. And guess what? Diabetes is the number one cause of kidney failure in the world. Additionally, inactivity makes you gain weight, which increases your blood pressure. A silent vicious cycle. The solution doesn't require becoming an athlete, it just requires breaking the stagnation. Step one, set an alarm every hour to remind you to get up. Walk around your house, get a glass of water, stretch your arms. That simple act already reactivates circulation. Step two, incorporate a daily walk of 15 to 20 minutes. It doesn't have to be a marathon. Consistency is worth more than intensity. Step three, if you have mobility problems, do seated exercises, moving your arms, lifting your legs, rotating your ankles. It all adds up. Remember, any movement is better than no movement. The key is keeping your internal river flowing. That was number four. Maybe you thought it would be something more dramatic. But wait, number three is something you probably took this very week. Something millions use thinking it's completely safe. And it's not poison number three, the harmless pills. It hides in almost every home's medicine cabinet, and millions use it without knowing the damage it causes. Let me tell you about Mrs. Carmen, 62 years old. Carmen was an active grandmother. She loved cooking for her grandchildren and taking care of her garden. She suffered from arthritis in her knees, and to relieve the pain, she took ibuprofen every day, sometimes 2 or 3 pills, like many people do. After all, they're sold over the counter. They must be safe, right? One day, Carmen began feeling more tired than normal. Her ankles swelled. She noticed she was urinating less. When she came to my office, the diagnosis was devastating. Acute kidney failure. The cause? It wasn't a strange disease. It was those apparently harmless pills she'd taken for years. How is this possible? How can something sold freely in any pharmacy do so much damage? The problem is chronic use. Anti-inflammatories like ibuprofen, naproxen, or diclofenac are excellent for occasional pain, but when you take them every day, they change the rules of the game. I'll explain it simply. For your kidneys to receive enough blood, there are substances called prostaglandins that keep the renal arteries open. Anti-inflammatories work by blocking those prostaglandins to remove pain, but they don't distinguish. They also block the ones that protect your kidneys. It's like stepping on the hose you're watering a plant with. The water doesn't reach and the plant starts to dry up. The same thing happens to your kidneys when you take these medications chronically. The problem isn't the pill itself. The problem is inappropriate use. So what to do? Suffer in silence? Of course not. The solution is using your head and talking to a professional. First, never self-medicate chronically. If pain lasts more than a few days, the solution isn't to keep taking pills. It's going to the doctor to see what's happening. Second, be honest with your doctor. Ask exactly, can this medication affect my kidneys? Are there safer alternatives? Third, consider acetaminophen for occasional pain. It's usually safer for kidneys. And explore non-pill options, physical therapy, heat, cold, stretching. The golden rule, anti-inflammatories are powerful. Using them occasionally is fine. Depending on them daily, without medical supervision, is playing Russian roulette with your kidneys. That was number three, an enemy disguised as an ally. But now comes something that's in every kitchen in the world. Something you consume every day without realizing the real amount. Do you know what I'm talking about? Poison number two, the invisible crystal. This enemy is perhaps the most underestimated of all. It's in every kitchen in the world. I'm talking about salt, or to be exact, sodium. And most people swear they consume very little because they hardly use the salt shaker. But doctor, I barely add salt to my food. That's exactly the problem. The great misunderstanding, because it's estimated that more than 75% of the sodium you consume comes from processed foods. Not from the salt shaker. It comes hidden in places you don't even suspect. Want to know where it hides? In a slice of bread up to 200 milligrams, in a can of soup more than 800, in a piece of processed cheese 400, even in breakfast cereals that don't even taste salty, 300 milligrams per cup. The The daily recommendation is not to exceed 2,000 milligrams. With a typical breakfast of bread, cheese, and cereal, you've already consumed more than half without realizing it. Why is it so harmful? Your body needs just a tiny bit of sodium to function. But when we flood it with salt, the balance breaks. To dilute all that sodium, the body retains fluids and orders the kidneys not to release a single drop of water. The result: blood volume in your arteries increases and pressure skyrockets. That's hypertension. And hypertension is the second cause of kidney failure in the world. It's like trying to clean a silk fabric with a firefighter's hose at full pressure. You destroy it. That's what hypertension does to your kidneys day after day. The solution: become a label detective. Your most powerful weapon is learning to read nutritional information. Turn the package around and look for the word sodium. You'll be surprised. Foods that don't even taste salty can have enormous amounts. The daily recommendation is 2,000 milligrams maximum. If you already have high blood pressure, the goal should be 1,500. 3 tricks that work. First, cook more at home. There you have total control of what goes into your food. Second, rediscover herbs and spices. Garlic, onion, oregano, pepper, lemon. They transform any dish without a pinch of sodium. Third, if you buy canned vegetables, rinse them well under the tap. With that simple gesture, you eliminate up to 40% of added sodium. In a few weeks, your taste buds will reset and you'll start noticing the real flavors of food. We've come far. Sedentary lifestyle, anti-inflammatories, hidden salt. But all this pales before what's coming. Enemy number 1, the most addictive, the most normalized. The one that's destroying kidneys at an alarming rate worldwide. Are you ready to meet it? Poison number 1, the sweet destroyer. And we reach the end. We've talked about sedentary lifestyle, painkillers, invisible salt, all dangerous, all silent. But now I present to you what I consider enemy number 1, the undisputed champion of kidney destruction, the most addictive, the most present in our daily life, the true wolf in sheep's clothing. This enemy is not a strange chemical or medication. It's something we associate with celebrations, rewards, love, happy moments. I'm talking about sugar and its inseparable accomplice, refined flour. Why am I so blunt? Because sugar doesn't launch a single attack. It launches a massive and coordinated attack from multiple fronts. In my experience of more than 15 years, this sweet duo is the main culprit for diabetes, being the number 1 cause of kidney failure in the world. It's the path that, unfortunately, I see repeated over and over in my practice until patients end up on dialysis. Let me show you how it attacks you. When you consume sugar and refined flours, you provoke a tsunami of glucose in your blood. The pancreas goes crazy, releasing insulin to control it. If this happens every day, cells become resistant to insulin and sugar stays floating in the blood. That's how type 2 diabetes is born. Once sugar is chronically high, it literally caramelizes your kidney filters, makes them rigid, and destroys them. It's the fastest route to dialysis. We used to think the blame for hypertension was only salts, but now we know sugar is equal or worse for blood pressure. A diet high in sugar raises pressure in ways we're barely understanding. So even if you control salt, sugar will keep hitting your kidneys. Sugar is fire for your body. It causes silent chronic inflammation that damages the inside of all your arteries, including the small arteries of the kidneys. It's invisible damage that accumulates year after year. The excess sugar you don't burn becomes fat. This fat accumulates in your abdomen, causing obesity, another risk factor for kidneys. It deposits in the liver, causing fatty liver, a condition that alters your entire metabolism and further harms the kidneys. As you see, it's a total attack. That's why I call it poison number 1. The good news is we can defeat this enemy. The key is knowledge and decisive action. First, understand that sugar has many disguises. High fructose corn syrup, dextrose, sucrose, maltose, agave syrup. They're all different names for the same poison. Learn to identify them on labels. Second, eliminate the most obvious sources. Sugary drinks are public enemy number 1. Sodas, industrial juices, bottled teas, A single can have more than 10 teaspoons of sugar. Change them for water, sparkling water with lemon or natural infusions. This is perhaps the most powerful change you can make. Third, distrust low fat or light products. They often remove the fat and fill them with sugar so they taste like something. Always choose natural versions. Plain yogurt instead of fruit yogurt. Fourth, change white flours for whole grains. Real whole grain bread, brown rice, oatmeal flakes. The fiber they contain slows sugar absorption. And finally, embrace real food. Fruits, vegetables, legumes, meat, fish, eggs, nuts. When your diet is based on whole, unprocessed foods, sugar and refined flours disappear almost like magic. Breaking sugar's chains is the most powerful act of defense you can do for your kidneys. It's not easy. Sugar is designed to be addictive, but every day you reduce its consumption, your body thanks you in ways you can't imagine. Conclusion. We've traveled an important path today. We unmasked 4 silent poisons threatening your kidneys. Number 4. Sedentary lifestyle that stagnates your circulation and opens the door to diabetes. Number 3, anti-inflammatories that can strangle blood flow to your kidneys. Number 2, hidden salt that shoots up your blood pressure without you noticing. Number 1, sugar and refined flours that launch a total attack on your body from multiple fronts. Maybe now you feel a bit overwhelmed. It's normal, but my goal was never to scare you. My goal is to empower you. The truth, even if it hurts, is the only thing that allows us to make better decisions. And now you have that truth in your hands. Kidney disease doesn't have to be your destiny. Each of these poisons is under your control. You decide if you get up from the chair. You decide if you consult the doctor before self-medicating. You decide if you read the label. You decide if you choose water instead of soda. It's not about changing everything overnight. It's about taking a small step today and another tomorrow. Each small change is a victory. Each home-cooked meal, each walk, is one more brick in the protective wall for your kidneys. You have the power to change your health story. Now I ask you 3 things. If this video opened your eyes, give it a like. That simple gesture helps more people find this information that can change lives. Share it with someone who needs it. A message from you can be the difference for a father, a mother, a friend. And leave me a comment. What surprised you most? Is there something you plan to change starting today? I read all comments and respond personally. And if you're wondering, doctor, is there something that can actively protect my kidneys, something that can help repair part of the damage? The answer is yes, and we'll talk about that in the next video. I'm going to reveal 5 foods that work as protective shields for your kidneys. Some will surprise you because you probably already have them at home. Others are guarded secrets that the pharmaceutical industry would prefer you didn't know. Subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss it. I'm Dr. Cezar Villarreal. Remember, your kidneys work tirelessly for you every second of your life. They filter your blood, regulate your pressure, keep you alive. Return the favor with conscious decisions. Take care of your kidneys. Take care of your life. See you in the next video.